Up next, elementary school students put their taste buds to the test.
And we check out a new law that protects people online.
This and more coming up on Frisco ISD-TV.
Welcome to this episode of Frisco ISD-TV. I'm Madison McFarlane.
And I'm Kate Furney. Students at Scott Elementary School stood up for a change in what's being served in their cafeteria.
Maddie Cargill has the story.
My friends and I didn't really like the food, and then so they wanted to change it, and so did I.
Students at Scott Elementary School take a slice out of their day to try new things in the cafeteria.
We actually received a petition from the students here at Scott. They just were wanting different food, better food in the cafeteria.
We just wrote down on a piece of paper. We took out the piece of paper to recess and had a bunch of people sign it, and they gave it to Mr. Waldron.
And one of the things that they complained about was pizza. They said they wanted a different pizza. So we met with them today with 4 different kinds of pizza for them to taste test so we can see which one they like the best.
From preparation to plate and a process to score, a lot of ingredients went into this taste test.
We had 4 vendors, 4 different types of pizza, and basically just cooked them according to recipe. Then we sampled them out.
Our chef, Joseph, put them on different colored plates so that we could differentiate which pizza was which. Our other dietitian, Jillian, put together the little forms that the kids were filling out that had a thumbs up, a halfway thumb, and a thumbs down so that we knew how much they liked each of the different pizza samples.
Although every student tried the same pizzas, their individual favorites didn't quite match up.
The 4 pizzas, they were so delicious, but some were kind of like thumbs down, but some were kind of good.
My favorite pizza was red because it was really cheesy and it didn't have that much sauce.
The blue, because it had one very sour and I like the sour stuff and it was very crunchy. That's why I liked it, and it had lots of cheese.
Yellow. And why? Easy. Because it had the perfect balance of sweet, salty, savory, seasonings, cheese, sauce, crust, crunchy, all those things.
Frisco ISD Nutrition Department culinary trainer Joseph Randall feels getting opinions straight from the source matters most.
We may have a taste test for ourselves, but we're really not the patrons, the kids are. So to get that information directly from them, that's the most valuable information there is.
Here's to hoping their peers think they have good taste. I'm Maddie Cargill for Frisco ISD-TV.
That was a really cute story. I can totally see myself doing that when I was younger.
Yeah, I can see you doing that too, and it was really interesting to see them take action at such a young age. In the middle of it all, these students are getting active in a different way.
Frisco ISD-TV's Josh Lallam shows us how students at Pioneer Heritage dance their way through the day.
Hey, Mr. Aiken, it's party time.
Students in this middle school are having clean fun as they dance together. A weekly tradition in the Functional Academics program, which is a class of all boys at Pioneer Heritage, was born after their nurse missed a performance.
It started last year when we had lip sync at the beginning of the year. The boys danced to their music, and Miss Ratcliffe actually missed the lip sync and wanted to see them perform, so she invited them to come into here to perform their song and dance for her.
With nursing, I'm always trying to take care of the sick, but when they come in, it's a time for us just to relax and just have a good time.
The students found their rhythm while serving on the recycling team together.
They enjoy being a part of the school and helping out and making the world a cleaner place. When we end the period, they come in here and dance.
I think it's an awesome tradition, first of all, for them to take part in helping our campus stay green, but in the little moment that they get to unwind and be themselves in the nurse's office it's an excellent tradition. I like to join in with them at times.
Students seem to enjoy their time with each other and the bonds they create.
It's really fun because I like lip sync a lot, and it's really special to me.
Dancing is fun. We do YMCA for lip sync. It is fun.
It really helped me with my friends being here for me, and it helped me a lot this year.
The dance break that comes at the end of recycling celebrates what the school has in common and shows appreciation for students being themselves.
We're all the same. I mean, we may look different or have little differences, but basically that we're all the same and we should treat each other with respect no matter what our differences are.
We have a student body here that really embraces every student that we have on our campus, regardless of who they are, and I think it just helps add to that where we all feel like we're one. And always remember it's good to be green, but at the other part of that it's okay to be yourself and just have fun with what you're doing.
Perhaps the students will recycle this tradition for years to come. I'm Josh Allen for Frisco ISD-TV.
Thanks, Josh. AP Spanish 5 students are rewriting a famous text in their own words. Kennedy McGilvery has more in higher learning.
Students rewrite history and embrace culture in AP Spanish 5 at the Career and Technical Education Center.
In AP Spanish 5, students are offered the opportunity to rewrite the letter that Hernán Cortés wrote to Charles V in their own words, describing their point of view from what they've read in the text.
Writing La Segunda Carta de Relación de Hernán Cortés from our own perspective. So that's the second letter of Hernán Cortés, which is the second letter out of 5 that he wrote to Spanish Emperor Carlos V, who was also the Holy Roman Emperor at the time, when he went over and colonized Latin America.
We had to beat Hernán Cortés and write the letter to Carlos V, translate from Spanish, from Old Spanish to Modern Spanish. So basically, I just made an email. I just went ahead and made an email because they were already going to write it in Modern Spanish. Might as well just go all out 21st century.
The letter project allows students to think creatively, without limits, and strengthen their Spanish skills.
Getting to read the Castellano version of Spanish because it gave me the chance to know the language at a deeper level and not just like the normal conversational type Spanish.
So there wasn't really a rubric. You could really be creative with whatever you wanted to do. There was the guidelines, so you were never really lost or confused on anything because it was really straightforward.
Being creative and making the letter look authentic by carefully burning the edges, adding this ribbon and all the touches that show my personality.
There are other hands-on projects throughout the year.
Well, when we studied the medieval ages, they were able to create a family crest, if you will, a shield from medieval times that incorporates their family values and history. They've also had the opportunity to rewrite short stories in their own words. And by doing so, this gives them the opportunity to expand their knowledge of the language and interpret it into 21st century writing.
It seems the students have learned many lessons.
What I would take most away from this project is to never give up even when I'm presented a challenging piece of text, especially in Spanish because I'm not a native speaker, but just to stick with it and understand it the best of my abilities because that is how I can best develop the language skills. It is very important to understand different cultures and also the history behind the cultures because we got to not only learn about the literature, but we got to learn about music and art and other things of the time in Spanish culture, so that's what I'll take away.
The thing that they took the most from this was that they got more faith in themselves to be able to interpret literature.
With the drive to learn more, these students have a new understanding of an old version of Spanish that they can carry into the future. I'm Kennedy McGilvery for Frisco ISD-TV.
Thanks, Kennedy. Frisco ISD-TV's Mari Forbes takes us inside the classroom where students are learning life-saving techniques to use in the outside world.
Here at the Career and Technical Education Center, health science students are taking a life-saving technique a beat further.
CPR is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It's when we do compressions and give breaths to someone whose heart stopped.
So we're able to do
basically what a doctor does for CPR, which is higher than your basic heart saver.
This higher level of training is offered and necessary for certain students based on places they go.
The students that receive the healthcare provider basic life support are our health science students, and they are out in the field at hospitals and fire departments and different healthcare facilities. They need to know the healthcare provider CPR skills.
I just thought it was a great opportunity to get to see real life medicine and earn some cool certifications that will help me later on in life.
The certification they're earning is different from traditional CPR.
The Heart Saver is simplified for people who are not in the healthcare field. Healthcare provider basic life support is for anyone that's in the healthcare field, and they know how to take a pulse, and they use an ambu bag and do it together. In the hospital, the defibrillator may be a little different than what a person would use with an automatic defibrillator.
After receiving their training, students share tips for a serious medical situation.
Whenever they're unresponsive, check their pulse, breathing. And also make sure to get help whenever you can.
Call 911, get help when you're gonna do something. Don't just jump into something if you don't know what you're doing.
With these advanced techniques, hopefully health science students are even more prepared to save someone's life. I'm Mari Forbes for Frisco ISD-TV.
Thanks, Mari. There's a new law in the books to protect victims of cyberbullying.
Darren Sohm explains how it will affect the online world.
While many students are on social media, some post demeaning things about others online. Senate Bill 179, known as David's Law, makes the act of cyberbullying a misdemeanor.
I think cyberbullying is just when people don't have the nerve to go up to people in person to say things to them because they're too cowardly.
Senate Bill 179, or David's Law, was put into effect on September 1st. What do you know about it?
I have no idea what that is.
Nothing.
I've not heard anything about it, but I think it's good that we're taking a step up and trying to get rid of cyberbullying.
I just only know what happened on September 11th.
This Texas law got its name from a 16-year-old high school student from San Antonio.
David Molak, who the bill was named for, he was cyberbullied continually, and then he ended up taking his life and died by suicide.
Students shared how they would react if they were cyberbullied.
Probably get pretty upset about it, and I wouldn't really know what to do.
I would report or call the police.
Block them, report it, delete, turn it off.
David's Law gives schools more authority to shut down cyberbullying.
If you cyberbully somebody off campus, you can be held accountable for it now at school, which in the past that wasn't true. When you come to school, you're seeing a lot of those same people, and those same people know about it. It might be something humiliating. And so part of David's Law is if it causes a disruption on campus in some way, or that student's not able to get their education, maybe they don't want to go to class, they're humiliated by it, they become depressed or have anxiety about it. And in that case, this law gives the school the power to give consequences to that student, even though it occurred off campus.
Some see the need for students to initiate the conversation and take action because schools can't do it all.
Talk about it instead of just having, because sometimes roundup and whatever, kids just sit there and play on their phones. If anything, we should put our phones in the middle and actually talk about the issue and share with each other instead of going off a list of paper, oh, what do you think? Talk about it.
I think it should be held up to the students' responsibility to report anything they find online, because the teachers and administration can't really handle everything that happens online. It's up to the students to report cyberbullying.
According to Caldwell, some of the same penalties apply to cyberbullying as it does for traditional bullying. The district uses stay-away plans to restrict contact between the bully and the bullied. With David's Law, there are costs that come with certain behaviors, and parents can pay a price as well.
If you tell someone to die, or you encourage someone to kill themselves, that's a big part of this law too, and is now considered a crime. And so at that point, we get the police involved, we get the SRO involved. It's actually a Class B misdemeanor, so students can get charged with a crime that's going to stay on your record for a while. So there are not only consequences at the school, but there are legal consequences as well. Then for parents, as far as what a big part of this is, if their child is continually putting up things online that are harassing, and their parents don't encourage them to take it down, then the parents can be held liable too.
While many we interviewed weren't aware of David's Law, its passage is welcomed.
Well, that's good. Finally, we're taking action and helping people out there for a change.
There's probably been hundreds of lives saved by students who are brave enough to go in and make that report, even though it's hard. Even though your friend might be mad at you, it's better than having them dead.
With David's Law now in place, hopefully students will think about what they post online before they have to post bail. I'm Darren Sohm for Frisco ISD-TV.
That's all for this episode of Frisco ISD-TV.
Tune in next time when a custodian's citizenship is celebrated.
And see how the Mayor of Frisco is supporting parents, teachers, and students. I'm Kate Furney.
And I'm Madison McFarlane.
Thanks for watching.